Welcome to episode 4 of Dark Nights at the Weird Table, part 2 of the horror topic. We've got some great ideas for you tonight. Again, it's been a little while since we posted, but hopefully you enjoy.
Good music.
Yeah, we might find something. Anyways, so who wants to begin?
All right, guys. So, as you all know, in the last episode, I didn't talk so much. Why? I don't play that many horror... Shut up. I don't play very many horror games. I'm more in the RPG section myself, but that's another story. But a horror game that I did play, which is not necessarily one...
You said that in episode 2, your RPG.
Shut up. Shut up. Is The Last of Us. The Last of Us...
Great fucking game.
Is a great game.
Haven't played it.
You know, it has its aspects of a great survival game. Brings you into the story, makes you cry, makes you want to see more. But it also has the jump scares, the immersions of a horror aspect. The clickers, you just hear the noise and you freeze.
You know, I was actually watching a top 5 scariest creatures from video games. Clickers were number 2 because of one major reason. They're blind, but they travel and traverse areas by echolocation. You make a small noise and they're all on you. You can sneak away from zombies. You can crawl away. You can climb away. But clickers, there is no hiding from it if you move.
Exactly. That's why when you hear one, you freeze.
I've never played Last of Us, but from the way you're describing it, it sounds a lot like a game that I played. I think it was called Resistance.
It is. It is a lot like Resistance.
It's just, from what I've seen, Last of Us, it flows seamlessly from cutscene to gameplay to cutscene to gameplay.
Exactly.
One of the greatest things about Last of Us is their take on zombies. And the reason why is because if you look into actual fungi, which is what the zombie virus was from and everything.
I know a little bit.
You know, I was trying to write a story before, and then Last of Us came out, and it was like, copyright, because there was a lot of things that were very similar to Last of Us. But there is an actual fungus that takes over the body of spiders and ants.
Yeah, I know that.
And it takes them over and kills them and still walks around and moves from place to place using their dead body.
Yeah.
And that's fairly, very close to what Last of Us did with their zombie thing.
But, you know, and I never beat the game, mainly because other
He's a
games...
bitch.
No, other games came out. Other games came out that I had hype for, and I verged off into it.
By the way, so all of you guys understand, me and Billy used to live together. I'm the reason he even got Last of Us. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes, you are, Sean. But then again, I'm also the reason why you love Dark Souls. You loved watching me play that bitch and get scared out of my mind.
Hint word, watching. I am a bitch when it comes to Dark Souls. But then again, who's really not at first? It takes a while to get used to that game. I don't care how, prestige you are at playing video games. You're a bitch when it comes to Dark Souls, at least for a while.
Dodging aspect, man. That's the biggest key. He
You're
couldn't dodge.
bitch.
He couldn't dodge to save his life, so
you
he
can't take a hit.
Yeah, exactly. However, but we're getting off topic again.
Get back to Last of Us.
But, it was the survivability, the way you had to conserve your ammo, you had to conserve what you had, because you never found it very often. You had to watch where you walked, watch what you actually stepped on, because certain things made noise.
Traps. My favorite part of Last of Us was the picking up the bricks and whatnot. You remember this.
Yeah.
At first, you don't know why you can pick up random bottles and bricks, and then it explains to you, it's as a distraction. But the one thing that they don't tell you that I found out, and I'm pretty sure most of the viewers out there who have played Last of Us found out as well, you can beat the total snot out of somebody with a fucking brick, and it is brutally awesome.
Well, and Billy brought up something, and it's one thing that I really miss about horror games, is the fact of lack of ammo. I think that's something great that
Ammo?
they can. Tomato, motherfucker.
That's what happens when you get a northerner.
But the thing is, when it comes to ammo, there's different a lot of games, man, they're feeding it to you, especially the new Resident Evil games. But then, like Silent Hill, the first time I beat Silent Hill, I barely didn't have enough ammo to fucking kill the final boss.
I never used ammo if it was possible.
Yeah, from perspective, like, if you were there, I've met quite a few people that have got to the final boss in Silent Hill, but didn't conserve. So they couldn't beat the boss because there's no way you might be able to kill the fucker with a knife, but...
Well, I like the brutality of things, It's like Silent Hill, Mortal Kombat, those type games.
Get over here!
I know we're on the subject of horror, but if you think about it, you segue into movie topics and whatnot when it comes to horror. The brutality of it.
Gore factor
it's
can play.
I don't have a gore fetish, I want to throw that out there now. But
yeah, he does.
I do love gore in video games because it can get creepy and it can get crazy. Take Doom, for instance. The bodies explode, but instead of like Mortal Kombat where they're chunks, you get organs, you get body parts
Who's
flying
ready for
everywhere.
Doom 4 and doesn't have a PlayStation? This guy.
Who's poor and doesn't have a PlayStation? That guy.
Fuck
Well,
you.
and
I paid for the Wii U. I paid my ass out for that Wii U.
Hey,
I
wait,
paid
wait.
my ass off for fucking PlayStation.
I don't
4.
regret
Where's that?
the Wii U.
I got a
man.
PlayStation.
And I don't
2.
regret the PlayStation. Shut up. I don't regret the
Shut up,
PlayStation
Brian.
4.
Hold on. Interesting fact for the PlayStation 2. They just stopped releasing PlayStation 2 games, and the last one was FIFA 2014, I think. It was a FIFA game. But it's either 2013 or 2014 was the last PlayStation 2 game to come out.
No offense to anybody who's watching or listening, but I don't know who likes sports games around this table.
Nobody! Well, Billy
But
might. But
I really don't understand the point of sports games. I'm sorry. I know
Why not just go
You know,
outside, for fuck's sake?
there are a lot of people who love sports games and everything, but I just have never liked sports games.
The reason why sports games are so big, and I will say this because as much as I don't like them, my nephew loves them. He plays football. And because he plays so much sports games as a football player, he actually got better into football because he can know the aspect of a play just by looking at how the players move.
True, but then you got those jockey pricks who play fucking,
we're a bunch of nerds.
football games. Well, yeah. Only one of us is really tiny, but anyways, no, you got those people who go
I
play,
love you.
NFL 2015 or whatever. I don't even know the name of the game. But, and we really need video recording. Brian just got hit in the stomach. Anyways, so I've never understood the concept of those games, but now you guys have me rambling on. So, to get back to horror, okay,
How did we get to sports in the first place?
point of conversation was Last of Us was a great game.
It was.
Last of Us Remastered is even better. So if you played Last of Us, I highly recommend you getting Last of Us Remastered because it does add into the storyline. What the PS3 couldn't handle, and that I don't remember if it was released for the Xbox. I don't think it was, but it might have been.
I think Last of Us was a PS exclusive, at least for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if it is released for the Xbox, from what I understand of it is it does add more to the story. Now, anybody else got something they want to share?
Yes, Fatal Frame. I know this is it's a very hard game to come across now. It's one of the few games where if you can't find it or can't afford it, like
Emulator.
our broke asses, emulate it. You have to have a strong computer. It's a PlayStation 2 game. Or the original two are PlayStation 2. The fourth one was for the Wii, or the third one was for the Wii, but it never came over the seas for whatever reason. And the fourth one, as those who are excited for a new horror game, is come out on the Wii U. Fuck yeah.
I'm going to have to look up videos of this
Yeah.
game because I have no idea.
Yeah,
Fatal
neither do
Frame,
Oh my
and
God.
it is a great horror game. It takes all the good aspects of Silent Hill, the good aspects of Resident Evil, and
Well, the thing is, like, it's literally with a freaking camera that you're looking through and shit.
Okay, no,
Right.
now I do know what
Yeah,
you're talking about
and
because you can kill the enemies by taking the
yeah,
picture.
you got to take a picture with the old camera.
Yeah, one of my favorite, one of my secondary favorite YouTubers, Team 4-Star, they did a thing of Fatal Frame with the DBZ Let's Play, where the guy who does Krillin's voice actually played Fatal Frame, and it was funny as hell.
Well, Markiplier played the second one, Crimson Butterfly. Like I said, the next one's coming out on the Wii U, and it's one of the few games, because everything keeps getting pushed back, I'm excited for. And from what I've seen, nothing has really changed. They've kept the creepiness, the atmosphere, and a lot of people don't realize it, man, but the Wii U, while, yeah, it's technically running last-gen hardware, because that's Nintendo, every game on the Nintendo looks beautiful. So when I heard it was coming across seas, I was excited.
No.
And now the fact that it's coming over, and it's officially coming over, I can't wait.
Now, does this game actually immerse you into it?
Yeah.
To where even if your wife comes in and says, "Hey, baby," you fucking freak out?
Yeah, that's how it works. You're hunting ghosts. You're the only person in this desolate, townish area trying to find... Crimson Butterfly, you're trying to find your twin sister. And it's got this dark story about fucking, like, Satanist-type cults and killing kids and trying to do this. And
it does have an immersing story.
yeah, it is. And it's even for a PlayStation 2 game, it is beautiful.
Now, one thing, one of the video games that I was excited for, well, I can't say I was excited for it first because I didn't hear about it until after it came out. But it was, God, I cannot remember the name of it now.
Describe it.
It wasn't really a game. It was kind of like those books you read
Until
when you were a
Dawn.
kid. Yeah, exactly, Until Dawn. It was kind of like those books you read as a kid.
Choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
Goosebumps.
The choose your own adventure books.
Goosebumps movie coming out, or it's out now. When this video goes up, it'll be out. And I want to go see it because Jack Black's one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite singers, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he is a really great actor, I will admit. Shares the last name. Anyways, but no, I was excited about it after watching gameplay of it. Your choices, I don't know, I guess that could actually be one of the most realistic RPGs out there.
I like
For
it.
one major reason. Every choice you make has an effect. It has a huge effect.
I haven't played the game yet. I would love to play the game. I don't have a PlayStation yet, but we'll get there. But I would love to play the game for the fact I want to know if every action means something. Because of the fact, does killing that bird actually affect the game? Yeah, it might affect some dialogue.
If you could kill the bird, then yeah, it would affect the game.
But you know what I'm saying? Well, because of course there's some choices in game, just like there's some choices in life that no matter what, same shit's gonna happen.
How much of the game have you watched?
I watched Markiplier play all the way through it. I also sat there
Then you
and
understood
waited.
that it does have the butterfly effect.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like
There's, from research that I did before I played it and watching Markiplier play it, the only thing that I know that you can't change is the stranger.
okay,
He dies no matter what.
yeah,
But it does have the butterfly effect. If you and I forget his name when you're, I think, Emily, the Asian looking girl with the black hair.
Oh my
The
god,
bitch?
you guys are going to ruin
Yeah.
the game for everyone else.
When you're,
spoiler.
yeah, spoiler alert, when you're running with her away from,
The Wendigo.
yeah,
Or
I think
the stranger?
it was the Wendigo, and you guys run up into the tower,
Supernatural.
and the tower falls over. Mm-hmm. You have a choice, as I think it was Josh who you were.
The black dude.
Yeah.
Not being racist. He was black.
But you have a choice. You can either grab her, or you can jump for your life.
I did see that.
It's a big change in effect
Yeah.
of what happens. I think if you choose not to grab her and save yourself, he lives. If you choose to grab her,
He dies.
he dies. And he dies immediately after.
Yeah.
It goes straight to a cutscene, he dies.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I think make it such RPG-esque, because of that. You make a choice and it happens.
But I will say, my opinion, as good as the quote-unquote game was, I'd personally say more that it was a choose-your-own-adventure movie. You know, yeah,
Well, yeah.
it was great. Yes, there were some parts you walked around and explored and things like that. But when it comes down to it, it was more of a sit back, relax, watch the scene, decide what you're going to do, make a choice, walk around, maybe find some hints to help you make the right choice. But that's what it came down to. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought it was great. It was one of the few games that I wish I didn't watch a walkthrough or a let's play of, because I would have loved to sit down and experience it myself. But then there's a few games that I've watched entire playthroughs of, and then sat down and experienced the game for myself anyway. But with that game, I feel that because I watched the play,
It's definitely worth a replay. Though.
yeah. But I feel
will put that out
that
there.
since I've watched the game get played already, a lot of the oh shit factor was taken away. You know, it doesn't work like that with Amnesia because it's such a broad thing. You know, you're going to experience different. Which reminds me, a game that I wish I knew about and I'm hyped for that I want to find it. And that's Darkness, GameCube game. And what it does is the entire game's basically the Python guy from Metal Gear, where it completely fucks with you. It's like sanitaries require them or some shit like that. And it was a GameCube game where it'd go to the blue screen, like your game system got shut off, or it'd jump into the save file and start deleting your game, pretending to delete your game to scare the shit out of you. It'd turn your TV volume down, and a little thing will pop up that was the average volume button at the time with the big green bar, and it starts to click down, you know. And it was like a breaking the wall trying to scare the shit out of you, you know. And even if you watch someone play it, that's something you want to experience yourself, you know.
Now, I know after this podcast, I'm definitely going to look this up and try to figure out what the hell it is. Because I want to play it. I still have a GameCube. And if I can get it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, the game's expensive as hell, though. That's the only reason why I
I'm
haven't
fairly
played
sure.
it. It's like $50-$60 still. But like I
I'm
said, man,
fairly sure it's
I'll-
up near the hundreds
yeah,
now. Just saying.
I'll gladly show you, the game, man. And it's something along them lines. Eternal Darkness. I'm about 90% sure that's what it's called.
That's what it is.
Well, then we'll
Yeah.
have to look it up.
If I'm wrong, just say, you're dumbass, and write it down in the comments. I still can't change my voice, but constructive criticism is welcome. But
Yeah, he just needs to take some voice acting classes or grow a pair of balls. Anyways,
But hey, at least he sounds like the girl in our group.
yeah, well, I'm a guy. I'm the one called Markiplier Hot, and I got a dick and 2 kids and a wife. So, sorry.
hanging on by a thread.
Yep.
Bitch
Anyways.
is crazy. But
No, I meant
that's-
you. Not, I wasn't going that far. Anyways, so, to segue off a little bit, Vroom.
I have one thing.
God, I
real
hope
quick.
she
I
doesn't
gotta
watch
say-
this.
Probably one of the worst things when it comes to horror is some of the older movies. And I'm not talking about, B movies. Yeah, B movies are kind of bad, but they're fun to watch. But I'm talking about movies that were big hits for the first one, and they just kept making them and kept making them.
Nightmare
and
on Elm
kept making
Street.
them. No, Nightmare on
I
Elm Street
like
was
the
okay.
first one. It's not that it got bad. It just got really, really, really,
Leprechaun.
really out there. Leprechaun in the hood, motherfucker.
Hey,
The Leprechaun movies are some of the
Chucky. The Chucky movies follow
Hey,
the
hey.
same problem too.
Chucky has one thing.
scares the piss out of him.
There is a reason. It scares the piss out of me. I was young when product came out. My sisters were bitches. So what'd they do? They tied me to a chair and fucking slept me in a room full of darkness and
My
said,
issue-
watch Chucky.
But I agree with Sean.
But
my
I
issue-
had the My Little Buddy growing up, all right? That was probably the worst thing my aunt ever got me for
But the thing
Christmas.
is-
Was the My Little Buddy doll that Chucky
But
is
this is the
based
thing, we
off
can agree.
of.
The first Chucky movie was scary. It was great. It had some comedy aspects to it. It's just the Bride of Chucky kind of went meh, and then the Seed of Chucky
Was just
fucking
horrible.
Yes,
But
Leppy. Oh my God, just did some
Brian.
research. Brian, my bad. Did some research for a change. Yes, the game is called Eternal Darkness.
okay. Well, back to what I was saying. Leprechaun movie should not be considered a horror movie. It should become a scare tactic movie, but not a horror movie. And
I'm sure you're going to
to cut it short and sweet, okay, I cannot help but laugh at those movies now. And they're making a new one.
Are you serious?
Really?
Leprechaun versus Chucky.
Yes!
Oh my
I
god.
love those. They're funny.
I can't.
Now you know what's gonna happen? That is gonna be at Halloween Horror Nights. We must take JT, my brother-in-law, because I want him to do the same thing he did during the Purge. Oh hell no!
Walk ahead of everything. Oh, hell no.
My issue with the versus movies is it seems someone always has to be the good guy. Alien versus Predator. Predator was a good guy. I love both the movies. I can't wait for the new Alien movie to come out. You know, Alien versus Predator, Freddy versus Jason.
My thing about
Who
the
was the
versus
good guy?
movie.
Jason, technically.
Yeah.
Because Freddy
Technically,
tricked
yeah.
Jason, Jason gets pissed, Jason kills Freddy.
And then he walks off. He doesn't even kill the people.
You know?
But my thing on
I
the
always saw
versus
those humor.
movies, my thing on the versus movies is this: when I first heard about the Freddy versus Jason movie, which was before Alien versus Predator,
Yeah. I was excited.
what I thought it was going to be similar to Lord of the Rings. You know, where you watch Gimli and Legolas fight for more kills. You know, that would have been great. That
Yeah.
would have been gruesome. That would have been brutal. That would have been absolutely bonkers. It would have been crazy as hell.
Nerd alert, bonkers.
Yeah, you know what? If my editing skills get any good, I'm gonna put bonkers right there above the screen. But anyways, so you know, looking at that, those aspects, it would be great if they did a kill count versus. I don't know how well Leprechaun versus Chucky's gonna be.
It might just be
I hope it
hilarious
goes-
with that.
That's,
I hope it goes for hilarious factor, but not like Seed of Chucky.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a little bit
You
too
know,
far.
have a gay son who's not really his son, but is his son.
That
and-
also isn't gay. It's because he's bipolar and has
he's a
two sides.
hermaphrodite?
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't really have a penis, but then again, does Chucky really have a penis?
No, they used the syringe, remember? Or the turkey baster.
Yeah, but then he's taking a piss.
Yeah, he does have.
He's trying to
does have-
masturbate.
That's true.
Yeah, so he has.
Sorry for the R rating.
It's,
It's the only way we can get Brian to talk in this series.
well, that's where
I
what
don't
bugs
use
the
that
problem
many problems.
is
I do
what
myself.
about what are we gonna do? You know, how are they gonna pull the versus kind of thing going on? You know, with Chucky versus Leprechaun, the way they did the movies, even though, like the first ones, there's some kind of hilarity factor to it. So I do think they need to do like the Leprechaun and Chucky meet somehow, like Chucky finds the pot at the end of the rainbow kind of thing, and they're like, if I can kill more people than you in a week, I'll let you keep my pot of gold kind of thing, and just go balls to the wall, crazy hilarity, fun, and just make a big joke of a mess out of it.
Or
You know,
who
I don't
can
think-
do the most gruesome kill?
Well, that would be great, but we're running short on time. So the one thing I want to leave with before we, you know, stop talking and everything and close out the weird table. The one thing I want to bring up while we're on the subject of movies and we had a subject of video games, this has absolutely nothing to do with a horror topic. But who else is excited for the Assassin's Creed movie that they're doing?
Not me.
Why not?
Because every time I get excited for a video game movie, it doesn't live up to expectations.
Dragon Age for one.
Now, not even Dragon Age, the Hitman movie. I was really excited
Oh my
for it.
God,
It
that
sounded like
sucked.
they were doing a really good job with it, and it turned out to just kind of be meh. Mortal Kombat, growing up watching the movie, I loved it, and then I didn't watch it for 5-6 years straight, and I was like, oh, Mortal Kombat, fuck yeah! You know, and I watched it, and it's
Well, they
kinda
might
meh.
have to.
Now,
they
which
might have to
Hitman movie are you
revamp it.
talking about?
With Assassin's
But-
Creed, the new one. With
Okay.
the Assassin's Creed, yes, there's a lot of story going through it, but I feel it suffers the same problem making a Zelda movie. How are you going to do it?
Here's the thing about the Assassin's Creed movie that they've been talking about releasing. I don't know when it's going to be released. I haven't done that much research into it. But what they were talking about with the Assassin's Creed movie is instead of basing it off the storyline, like we said in the very first episode, you know, if they don't base it off the storyline, could it possibly be a better movie? They're going back to the time of the Ezio character and the Altair. They're going back to those time frames or something similar to it, but they're not using a character that they've made in the games. They're making a completely new character with a completely different experience, and a different storyline. They're not basing it off of any games. They're basing it off the facts of the game, which are, you know, the Animus, the things of that nature with the Templars and everything.
So they're kind of doing what Resident Evil did. There's going to be the video game verse and the movie verse.
Yes and no.
That might be successful.
My biggest thing, if they do create an entire new story, what I would like to see them do is to tie it into the game somehow.
Yeah.
You know, that's what matters to me. Because Resident Evil, while the first couple movies are good, it's not really tied into the game because it's the movie.
Well, that's what I was talking
know?
about. They're segueing from the story. They're not using any of the main characters so that they can't, you know, have big problems and big fan base going, oh, bullshit. But at the same time, they're keeping it close-knit. They're keeping it close to the story. That was an absolutely horrible movie that needs to be burned and never brought up again.
It sure
you
does.
bring it up again, and
Wait,
I will
no.
smack you.
I am talking about Battle of the Gods, not the Dragon Ball
Okay.
Evolution.
Okay, and now I'm going to let you get away with that, but next person who says Dragon Ball Evolution is getting a slap.
Wait. If we're going to talk about bad ones, Last Airbender.
Say Dragon Ball Evolution.
Honestly,
I dare you.
wait. The Last Airbender, while had its flaws and problems, if you have never seen the anime and just sat down and watched the movie,
yeah,
it is
I
not
guess.
that bad. A lot of people hate on it because of the flaws between the TV show and the movie.
Ong.
Hold on. But that's a topic for another time, which does bring up, if you guys want to hear us talk more about movies, TV shows, and other things besides video game, please let us know. We would love to expand.
All right, well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you for listening. Shut up. Not you guys. Thank you for listening. This has been the Dark Knights at the Weird Table. Stay weird.